If you shoot for the moon and miss, you will not land amongst the stars. You will shoot off into the unbearable dark emptiness of space and, eventually, fade from the memory of even those closest to you. Don't shoot for the moon. Leave the moon alone. The moon isn't bothering you. Welcome back, Desert Bluffs! Today, we are joined by Jonathan Stevens, who is a front-runner in the upcoming Postmaster General election, as well as the community manager for Elohim Biologic Incorporated. Thanks for coming on the show, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you for having me, and please call me Nathan.
Okay, Nathan. You can call me Terry. All of my friends call me Terry.
Oh, is that not your full name? I had assumed that it was because everybody calls you Terry.
That's because everyone is my friend Nathan. I am friends with everyone. So, Nathan, what brings you to the show today?
Well, the Elohim Board of Directors thought it would be prudent for me to come onto the show to address some feedback that we've received from your community. Unfortunately, we're having trouble reading any of the feedback forms we've received. Some of them are covered in a thick green sludge. Others appear to be written in what we believe to be Proto-Indo-European. A few Desert Bluffs residents seem to have attempted to submit feedback by sending us various objects of dubious origin. Overall, we're really not sure what sort of feedback we're actually receiving. And it was our hope that coming on the show today would help to clear the air, as it were.
I've actually been keeping track of the various things people approach me about, whether it be for advice or just to express their concerns. Lately, it seems like a lot of residents are worried about the Elohim biologic vans that have been, supposedly, seen patrolling the streets at night. Now, I haven't personally seen any of these vans. To be outside after dark, or even in a dark room, is incredibly uncomfortable to me, but it's my understanding that white vans of uniform size, marked with the Elohim Biologic Incorporated logo, have been driving slowly up and down the streets after dark. Is there anything you can share with us about these vans?
Actually, yes. We were attempting to keep this under wraps. Make it a bit of a surprise, as it were. But since so many people are concerned about the vans, let me explain. They're looking for municipal projects we can do to help out around town, and other ways to improve Desert Bluffs. We're trying to really get invested in your community, and the easiest way to start doing that is to improve minor things, like street lamps, cracked sidewalks, and the like.
Oh, see, that makes a lot of sense. I had been hearing rumors that the vans were meant to round up people out past curfew, and, well, I'm not really sure what supposedly happened after that, but it makes a lot more sense for them to be simply surveying our town to look for areas that could use improvement.
I often find that when you closely examine someone's concerns, you'll find they are completely unfounded. People can be so quick to judge, even when someone is just trying to help them.
So, has your team found any major projects that need doing? Now I'm just curious.
There are a couple bigger undertakings that we're working on logistics for. First, that pit you have in the center of your town.
The one with a faint bioluminescent glow at night.
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, your pit. We're trying to think of effective ways of filling it in for you. It's a major safety hazard placed where it is. There's still a lot of research to be done to determine the best filler material. We've put literal tons of gravel into the pit and still can't see the bottom.
Oh, goodness! That might take you a while. If I remember correctly, Strexcorp tried to fill in the pit at one point. I think they started the same way, too. Dumping traditional fillers, such as sand or gravel, into it. The project was abandoned after it was found that non-traditional filler materials, such as bone meal, jello cubes, and quote-unquote volunteers from the general population of Desert Bluffs, didn't work much better than the gravel. But I'm sure that you can figure it out.
Volunteers? Yes. We are putting a lot of manpower and brainpower towards solving this pressing issue.
We'll get back to Nathan and talk to him a little more about what Elohim Biologic has been cooking up in our backyards in just a bit. right now it's time for community announcements. The Neighborhood Watch has released its bi-monthly Most Wanted list. Due to the impressively low crime rates ever since the creation of the Neighborhood Watch, this Most Wanted list consists of various objects that the Watch really wants. Some of the items on the Most Wanted list include nail clippers, accent pillows, a deli slicer, ankle socks, and hand warmers. The Desert Bluffs interim government would like to remind all citizens that light pollution is a crime. Anyone found to be wantonly wasting light by allowing it to spill into areas that it was not originally intended to be in will be faced with hefty fines as well as possible disciplinary action. It's your own responsibility to keep track of your light. Don't let it wander. The Pyramid Construction Project, organized by the Society for Sufficient Sunlight, has hit yet another roadblock. You'll remember that their last attempt to get the pyramid built resulted in the creation of an almighty hurricane. This time, the Society was clever enough to add stipulations into the work contract that would prevent subcontracting. However, the new company that took on the job went about construction a little bit strangely. When I stopped by the construction site not too long ago, I was surprised to find that the entirety of the project so far had been constructed out of cheese. I approached the foreman of the project to ask about it, but when I tugged on the sleeve of his comically large trench coat to get his attention, I accidentally pulled it open. Out of the trench coat spilled a seemingly never-ending stream of mice, squeaking and squabbling with pink ears and slithering tails. Ugh. What we had thought was the foreman was actually just a large colony of mice in a trench coat, and this turned out to be the case for every person involved with the construction company. This comes as a huge surprise, as they came highly recommended on Angie's list, which, to be fair, is just a list that Angie submitted to the Desert Bluffs Daily paper, which is just a corkboard in the center of town. So it looks like the pyramid build has been delayed another week? 2 weeks? I don't know. This has been Community Announcements. So, Nathan, can we talk a little bit about how things have been going for you in the Postmaster General race? You seem to have a pretty strong lead over Lawrence Levine out in the edge of town development, but you never know.
I mean, I didn't come into the station to talk about that, but I'm sure it won't hurt to discuss it a little bit.
Great! So, as Postmaster General, how are you planning on dealing with dangerous mail?
Dangerous mail? You mean like getting a paper cut? Or a particularly heavy box?
No. I mean stuff like sentient mosses passing through the post office en route to their final destinations. I hear that they can be pretty dangerous. Not to mention the hornet junk mail we've been receiving lately.
I'm sorry, what? Hornet junk mail?
Oh, you haven't gotten any yet? You must not have updated your mailing address.
No, I did. I just haven't installed a mailbox yet.
Oh, then you wouldn't know about the hornets. Basically, the way they work is that they look just like a normal piece of mail on the outside. But when you open the mail, a torrent of angry hornets pours out of it and usually attacks you. Generally, you have just enough time to read the letter before you pass into unconsciousness. I think lately it's been Comcast offering some sort of new phone and internet bundle.
Oh.
Anyway, why don't we take a look at the community calendar? On Monday, the interim government will be holding their annual Fess Up Festival. The Fess Up Festival is a judgment-free zone where residents are encouraged to enjoy delicious treats, mingle with their neighbors, and confess to any crimes they may have committed since the last festival. The festival is mandatory, and this year the interim government will be bringing in some tip-top entertainment in the form of several trained interrogators from secret federal facilities. As always, bring a spare change of clothes. Tuesday, the Neighborhood Watch will be hosting a road race. Those who have been selected via random draw to participate will wake up on Tuesday morning 5 kilometers from town and will have to race the Neighborhood Watch back to the relative safety of their homes or workplaces. On Wednesday, the high school is going to begin seeding their lawn once again. The accompanying blood drive will be held in the school gymnasium, weather permitting. This coming Thursday is the final day for submissions to the Design a Monolith competition. The winning selection will be built in one of the public parks here in town, and its designer will be rewarded with feelings of impending doom. This Friday will be a repeat of last Friday, from your slightly burnt coffee in the morning to your not quite comfortable bed at night. Nothing will change. Saturday and Sunday are being combined this week into Satin Day. All weekend activities are expected to be completed in this 24-hour Satin Day period, and work will begin as normal on Monday, followed by a Leap Monday we're calling Double Monday. This has been the Community Calendar. So Nathan, earlier you had said that Elohim Biologic was picking up some of the municipal projects around town. You gave the example of filling in the pit in the center of town. You know, the one that looks vaguely like Bradley Cooper from the right angle? Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, filling in the pit was one of your projects. Have you identified any other things that need doing around town?
Funny you should mention that, Terry. We're actually finishing phase 1 of a different project right now. If you look outside, you might see what I'm talking about.
Oh. What are those people doing to the street signer? They're Elohim employees, I can see that by their uniform, but they're being quite rough.
Well, Terry, one of the things we've identified as a problem was the lack of easy-to-understand signage around the town. Right now, it looks like your town has employed some sort of dance troupe to act out street names, speed limits, construction warnings, etc. It leads to a lot of miscommunication.
I mean, we've always used interpretive dance as the language on all of the street signs in town. I'm not sure that replacing the street signers with something else will go over well. What are you planning on replacing them with?
Just standard issue street signs. Plain English, white text on a green background. Large enough to be easily read before a driver needs to take action.
So, this new street sign project, a lot of people are going to be put out of work, aren't they? I mean, a decent number of residents are employed as street signers.
We've got a fix for that too. Anyone currently employed as a, street signer has been offered a position in the Elohim Biologic Incorporated compound just outside of your town. It's a short commute, great benefits, and rewarding work. I don't think any of the street signers we've approached have attempted to decline.
Huh. Well, that's certainly one way to deal with it.
Are you alright, Terry?
Yes, I'm fine. Next up, a word from our sponsor. What is the best way to bring people together? Is it festively themed t-shirts? Or perhaps a shared enemy? No. The best way to bring people together is simple. It is magnets. Magnets form a strong bond that is invisible to the naked eye, much like the bonds of friendship or family. In fact, proper use of magnetic forces can mimic the feelings of friendship so closely that those within the magnetic field won't be able to tell the difference. If manipulating your friends and family through the use of magnetic fields sounds like a slightly less than moral thing to do, well, it's possible that you need to reassess what you consider to be a moral thing to do. Controlling people through the use of magnets will save you so much time and energy that would otherwise be squandered in meaningless social interactions in order to achieve the same results. We're not saying that foregoing all social interactions in favor of exploiting those around you through the use of magnetic fields will solve all of your problems, but it certainly can't hurt. More saving, more doing, that's the power of the Home Depot. Nathan, I wasn't sure how to say this before, but I'm fairly concerned about some of the changes that Elohim Biologic is planning and executing in Desert Bluffs. Your company is new in town, so you may not have realized this before, but change is sort of a strange thing for us here.
I'm not sure that I follow. I mean, yes, the improvements are technically changes, but they're going to make everything so much better for all of you.
Well, that is true, and I'm sure that the residents of Desert Bluffs agree. It's not really them that you need to worry about.
What was that?
Oh, not again. I should probably go deal with that. If you want to see what I was talking about before, you're welcome to come with me.
Oh, I'm not really sure if that's appropriate. I mean, with me...
Nonsense. Come with me. This will be good for you. While we're away, I'll play the climate report. Welcome back! What a fretful few moments we had just there. Nathan has left for the day. I think that I may have pushed him a little, too hard, too fast. He'll come around in time, I'm sure. We'll get through these growing pains, and we'll be better for the experience. Sure, it may be a little uncomfortable right now, but we're tough. We can handle uncomfortable. We will stand tall with big smiles on our faces and be wildly uncomfortable. So, with that, I'll leave you all with a final thought. Nobody ever said that this would be easy, but nobody ever said that it would be difficult either. I'll talk to you soon, Desert Bluffs. Keep smiling.
Welcome Back, Desert Bluffs is a fan-made podcast based upon characters and events from Welcome to Night Vale, which is the intellectual property of Night Vale Presents. The voice of Terry was Ren Connolly. The voice of Nathan was Andrew Baker. This episode's climate report was Computer by State Shirt. Information about the climate report and other sounds used in this episode can be found in the description below. Also, we are now on iTunes, so please rate and review us there to help us grow big and strong. Having an existential crisis? Having a slightly more bacon-related crisis? Send us an email at welcomebackdesertbuffs@gmail.com.